So the keywords are like we have left with two keywords here. So one keyword is throw, the one keyword, and today we'll discuss about the keyword called as throw keyword, and the last keyword from exceptions is throws keyword. And today we'll see one more concept called as customized exceptions or user defined exceptions, right? So writing our own exception classes. So this is what today we are going to see here, right? Customized exceptions and user defined exceptions. This is what we are going to discuss today. So let us try to see from one by one we'll see here. So first we discuss about throw here. Throw is a keyword. Again, this is a keyword which is meant for throwing the exceptions manually. Up to now, whatever the examples we have seen, everywhere the exception is thrown, created, exception object is created and thrown by the Java virtual machine, right? So, and we just simply handle them, right? So this is a program. So where here this program causes multiple exceptions, right? Where this program causes the multiple exceptions here, right? And whatever we discussed yesterday, right? Every exception object, when that particular statement is executed by the Java virtual machine, if it is unable to calculate or if it is unable to execute it, it is throwing the exception. Nothing but it is creating an object and it is throwing that object to us. And as a programmer, we are handling this. So here, these three statements may cause me three different type of problems, exceptions, so that I have used three different catch blocks to handle them, right? So we'll see how to use a throw keyword, what is the meaning of throw keyword and how we can use it, right? So for this I'm going to take example, same example with some different name, just right, .java. It's fine, right? So let me remove all whatever I did here. Not required, all these things. Not required. Nothing is required anyway. Right? Main start and main end. That's only two statements I have here. It's fine. Right, now we have seen like when I write such kind of statements like int I is equal to 10 by 0, so the Java runtime cannot calculate the value of this. So in this statement, when you compile and execute this program, the Java runtime is going to throw you an exception, right, saying something by 0 cannot be possible, right? Now if you compile and run that program, what is it? Throw example, throw demo, right? It's fine compiled, I think. Yeah, no errors on that code here. Throw demo. Now what is happening here? A simple thing, because I did not handle the exception, so it is always stops your program execution. The Java runtime is going to stop your program execution by throwing the exception. These kind of messages we'll see that we have discussed. But if you see the statement here which is caused the exception is, right? So this is the statement which is caused to the exception. Nothing but here, as we discussed, exceptions are objects, and Java runtime, when it is executing this particular statement, when it starts executed this particular statement, because it cannot calculate the value of this one, right? So what it does is it has created an object for a class called as arithmetic exception, right? And this is a class. So it has created the object for this class, and this object is thrown for me, and because of I did not handle this object, so it is handled by the Java runtime itself by throwing you that exception, right? If you want to handle this, so we have written a try surrounded with this statement, and now we will be writing a cache block which looks like a method call, where it is going to take the type of object here, right? where it is going to take the type of object, what object you want to catch here. So that means what? Object is created and I'm catching this. Now the object is created of a type class called as arithmetic exception type, right? So, and this object something object reference, and I'm going to do something here, right? So if you want to just print this is what I did in the first program, but the thing here is everything is the statement is executed and the object is created as well, it is thrown, everything by the Java runtime. Something by 0 cannot be possible. Some message here. This is how we handle this. This is how we use the exception blocks. Now you can compile this program and execute it. Now you can see that something by 0 cannot be possible as well. You can see your program is terminated very fine, smoothly, right? So, but here the thing is, when this statement is erased, the object is created for a class called as arithmetic exception, right? So it is not simple. It is not a new thing here. How we are creating the objects and all. So if you know, we know that if you want to create the objects of a class, we use a new keyword and we use one of the constructors to create the object for that class. It's a very fundamental core Java. It's a very fundamental point we have learned when we have discussed about the objects, right? Now this is how it is also doing. It is not a different thing. It is also using the same kind of mechanism to create the object, right? So let's see here. Let's see here. So let me open the API document again so that we can see more about it, right? Computer, desktop. On the desktop I have just I'm checking the API document. Just I want to show you the API document. So what are these things? They are not different things. They are simple Java classes, but these classes are created for different representing different kind of problems. See here, java.lang. What is that class? Throwable. This is what we have seen. Now just go through this class. So see here, constructors. It's a normal class. You have constructors here. Throwable is a constructor, throwable with string. Each and every exception class will have constructors. Whatever the predefined exception classes are given for us, all these predefined classes will be containing constructors. So this is the exceptions list separately given for you, and this is the one, arithmetic exception. So when something, when it is a child class for runtime exception, this hierarchy we have seen, right? So thrown when an exceptional arithmetic condition has occurred. For example, integer divide by 0. So what it is going to do here, when something by 0, right? When you are trying to do something by 0, the object is created for this class. Now see this. Here you find a constructor, no argument constructor, and a constructor with string argument. So the Java runtime using these two constructors only to create the object for that class, right? So what does it mean here? So when such kind of statement is under execution by your runtime, so it is creating an object for this class. How the object is created? Same mechanism. It is not different here. Now it is creating the object for you like this. So I am commenting this statement. I am going to do the same, right? So new, what is it? Arithmetic exception. So there is a constructor without argument. Now this is how. Or you can pass a string argument, because there are two constructors and each and every exception class, whatever the predefined exception classes are given, each and every predefined exception class will contain these two constructors. One no argument constructor, one constructor with what? String argument, right? So I'm going to create my object for this class by using this constructor. I'm going to create object for arithmetic exception class by using this constructor. So let me create it by writing my own message, right? What is that message here, right? Okay, or you go for no argument constructor, that's your choice, or if you want to create it now, New arithmetic exception, very simple. Object, creating a object for a class. I'm not doing any miracle here, right? Simple statement. Now I'm going to refer this. I'm going to reference this object, right? Arithmetic exception, some AE. So what I did here, just I created object for a class and I'm storing that object reference into a variable. That's it, right? So this is very simple. The same thing it is going to do here. Now I want to do here. Now let me remove this try and catch blocks. Just a simple object creation, right? Now what I want to do here, now let me run my program. So what happens, let's see what happens. Let's see here. Just if I run this program, let me compile and execute it. Saying what, I don't find a symbol called as arithmetic exception. Maybe the spelling mistake, MATIC. M small, is it? Yeah, M small. E is correct, but M is small. These are called as actually coding naming conventions. I think where to use capitals and smalls already have seen. I told you actually there is a document you can read which one is capital, which one is small, right? It is fine compiled. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to execute my program. So what is that? Throw demo. Nothing happened. The program is started fine and the program is ended fine. Nothing happened, right? So just it is object created. It is a normal object. It is a normal object. But when this object is created, nothing happens. Just object created. Now, so this is also the same mechanism that runtime has did for you. And if you want to throw this object, throwing means what? Manually. Previously what happened, the same thing here it is going to happen now. Let's see here. So what I'm using here, throw AE. What does it mean here? Throw the object. So this is the statement I'm writing manually. Now let's see what it is going to do now for me. Right, it is saying what? This statement cannot be reached. Why this statement cannot be reached? We try to understand later. Let me comment this statement. Now let me execute this. See here. See what happened here now? The same thing, right? So when I write 10 by 0 int I is equal to 10 by 0, what happened here? What happened here? So what is the difference between these statements here? What is the difference between these statements? Whatever the statements I have written, and this is a single one statement and these two are one statement. So what happens in these both statements? Right? Technically speaking, both are same. There is no difference in both statements. But there is the difference between these statements is, right? So no. Here in this program I'm asking here, technically speaking, there is no difference between these two statements. But according to this difference is, here the object is created for this class, right? So when something by 0 here, the object is created for this class, right? And it is thrown by the runtime. Here the operation, the creating the object and throwing that object is done by the Java runtime. But here the object creation and that object throwing is done by me. As a programmer, I did it. Right? There is no difference. The difference here is, this is automatically done by the runtime, because the runtime knows when something, when such kind of statements occurs, it should create object for that class and it knows that throw it. But here I am doing it manually. I am doing it manually here. So to throw the exception objects manually, we generally use what? Throw keyword. But it is not used to, most of the cases we don't use this throw to throw the predefined exceptions like this. But example purpose only I am giving, right? Most of the cases it is not used to throw the user defined predefined exceptions. It is used to throw the exceptions which we create manually. right? So throw is a keyword which is used to throw the exceptions manually. The same thing is happened here. What is happened? See that main is started and exception is raised. And what is the exception which is raised here? Arithmetic exception. And the program is not executed because of I am not handling it. Now if you want to handle it, same thing. Put these statements inside. Try. Put these statements inside. Try and catch. Right? Catch. Right? So what type of exception you are interested to handle? Arithmetic exception. A. Something. Right? So try open. Try close. Right? And then catch open, catch close. And you can write whatever the statement you want to write inside this system.out.println. So this is where actually throw. It is, if you see the program here, it is not different. Both statements, whatever I have written, are same. Something by 0 cannot be possible. Same statement I am writing here. So that we'll see here. TH is missing. Metric exception, it's fine. Right? No problem. You can have not required, that is commented statement. Right? So main start, something by 0 cannot be possible, and main end. Now see, observe my try and catch blocks here. What is my try is doing, what is my catch is doing here. Right? So same thing. It is almost similar to this what happened here. Now let me cut this statement and I would like to put inside what? Try block. Now let me remove these comments and let me comment these two lines now. Try to observe the output, what it is going to do here. See, main start, something by 0 cannot be possible, and main end. Now if I comment this line, and if I remove these two lines here, you see the same output. Why here? Both are same, but the difference between both is, see here, the same output you got, but the difference between both is what? One object is created by me and thrown by me manually. This one is created, the object is created and thrown by me manually, and this one is created and thrown by virtual machine. That is the only difference. Getting me what I'm trying to explain here? So this is how we use the throw keyword to throw the exceptions manually. Right? Are you getting me? So generally it is not, generally we don't use this throw to, anything, any exception, absolutely. All exception classes will have the no argument constructor. Any predefined exception you can throw it, absolutely. Right? If you want to change this to null pointer exception, you can try it now. Null pointer exception and create the object for. It's not used for this purpose, that's what I'm saying. Now what is this? It's fine. See, main start and I have created, yes, it's correct. Main start and it is created object and it is thrown. By it is not executed the main end because of I did not handle that exception. I did not handle that exception. I am handling the exception object, and this object is of type what? Arithmetic exception. Right? Same thing. Every exception object you can create by using as I told you, there are two constructors are available with each and every predefined class, and you can use them to throw these exceptions. No problem. Any constructor you can use. Right? So here, now if you want to pass a message, you can use that string argument constructor from this class. reference. When we get this null pointer exception, if you have a reference and this reference is not having any object, reference not having object, then in that case you will get a null pointer exception. You are trying to call a method with only reference where there is no object is created, right? Now this is what here. Now you can pass that string message, and this string message will be printed for you as your user friendly message. Previously it was not displaying because empty. Now when whatever the string you pass, it will be displayed as a message for you. Reference not having a object. It's your choice. Previously it was not there, now it is printing this message for easy understanding purpose what is the problem occurred. Right, so like this all predefined exception classes will support you two constructors, and you can create them and you can throw them, right? So this is what here. So this is where you use a throw keyword. Told you, right? Null pointer exception means you are absent 2 days. So whenever you try to call a method of a class, right, like this a and very important, mostly commonly occurred exception. Now I am trying to call method of a class a dot method. Is it possible? Right, it is not possible. Why? Because it is not a object. A is a only reference variable, but I forget to create the object. So a is now pointing to a null, nothing. Null means what? Nothing. From nothing you are trying to call something. That is where you will get null pointer exception. Right, if you want to call the methods of a class, instance methods, you require instance. But there is no instance is created. Most of the cases you will get, most times you will get the most commonly occurred exception, null pointer. Right, so that is where, right, so this is where we use throw keyword actually, right? Nothing is there, very simple to use this. Create the object for exception class and throw it. And very important thing to note here is, right, remember this, you cannot throw all the objects. You cannot throw all Java objects, right? So I'm creating the object and throwing them. So this same thing here, I'm not creating any reference, directly I'm throwing the object. This also is the correct syntax here. Yes, absolutely. You download the videos, right? I have discussed all these things, whatever the questions you are asking, Ashish, and I shared the videos also today. You download the links and just go through the sessions, then you come to, yes, right. Yeah, this is the third session I'm discussing on exceptions. It's not first session, right? Just go through the videos. After, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Absolutely, I'm ready to clarify your doubts. Fine, do that first. Still you have doubts? Absolutely, I'm happy to solve. Right? So this is what you have here. So throw object creation, but this object has a no reference. So such kind of object generally we call as anonymous object, anonymous or orphan, no name. So it is also same program, but don't think that all objects can be thrown. Throw keyword can throw only the objects of type exceptions. It cannot possible to throw all the objects. You cannot write new string, new this, new that, new student, new car. No, only objects of exceptions only you can throw, right? So be careful here. So because I'm not handling this, that is still the exception is there and is doing the same thing, right? So this is the one keyword you have, throw keyword, to throw the exceptions manually. The most important and confusing keyword is this one, throws, used in a special cases here. So we try to understand this throws keyword. So before moving on to throws keyword, right, now, right, let me write one simple statement, only one statement I would like to write by taking a new program here. The program name I will change throws demo. I'm going to remove everything here. The most confusing and most important interview point of questions also will be faced on this concept, right? So get ready for this. If anybody asks the questions in the interview, definitely you can expect one question on this topic. Without this topic, without this question on exceptions, no interview will be completed. Just I am doing something. I think you know this statement, importing a class from a package, and it is a predefined class. So I'm trying to import this file input stream, stream. Now just I would like to create the object for this class, right? So this class is meant for generally reading the files here. F in, just I'm trying to create an object for this file, new, right? New file input stream class. Now I'm going to write it like abc data txt. That's it. Only one simple statement. What I did, and that statement is just creating the object for a class called as file input string. No other statements, nothing. Right? I'm going to do something. Just I'm going to compile this program. That's it. I'm not going to do anything with this program. Oh, very bad. What is the problem here? I don't have any further statements. Only one import statement and one object I have created for a class called as new file input stream class. Right? So your compiler itself is not compiling this program. Compiler is not allowing me to compile this program. Why the compiler is stopping me to compile the program? What wrong I did in this program? Right? So if you want to use this, just I have used a class from IO package. Just check this IO and just go through the class file input stream class. Yes, this is a class file input stream, and I have a constructor which takes a string argument. Absolutely fine. I did not do anything. File input stream, a string object it is taking, and I have used the file input stream constructor which takes a string object. I have passed it, right? I am using a new keyword to create the object for this. That's fine. Everything is fine. There is no syntactical mistakes. Now if you clearly read this error, this is an error which is raised by the compiler, right? If you clearly read this error message, it is the compiler is asking something. Compiler is asking something. Unreported exception file not found exception. What it's saying? Unreported exception file not found exception. It's fine. What is the meaning of this? We'll try to understand. It is asking me to do something compulsory, the compiler. What it is asking me to do something must be caught or declared to be thrown. Definitely it is asking me to do what? Either you caught it means what? Catch this exception, or you declare it to throw. If you do any one of these two, then only the compiler is going to allow you to do this. If you don't catch it, or if you don't declare it to throw, your compiler will not compile this program, and compiler shows the error message here. Why compiler is stopping me here? What is the reason compiler is stopping me? Right? So just we try to understand. No, no, no. So okay, somebody is saying very good answer actually. He's saying like abct.txt is not there, right? Let us create it. Save abc.txt. I'm saving in the online class only. See this, and write some text into this. Saved it. Now go to the location where I have saved. You can see this. E online classes. Now abc.txt, right? Able to see this? abc.txt file. I have that. abc.txt file. It is a text file, right? I have created it. Fine. Somebody said file is not there. Then how it is going to act? Still have created it, right? So what is the mystery behind this? Why? The important thing is I am keep on saying that exceptions will be created at runtime. Yes, absolutely, that is a correct statement. Exceptions will be created for you at runtime. It's absolutely correct statement. But why my compiler is stopping me to do it? It is not an exception. Very important, right? It is not an exception. Exception is not raised here. Don't see it is clearly. You can see it is an error. It is not an exception. It is an error. Compiler is raising me an error. What is error I have in my program? Nothing is here, right? We try to understand this concept by using some simple example, right? Right? Just again, it is I'm going to use this one simple example to demonstrate this. Let's suppose just we take already we have discussed such kind of example previously. Now let's suppose you and your friend you want to call your friend over a network. That is fine. That is fine. But why it is forcing me? You and your friend want to talk to your friend, right? And you want to make a call and you are using a network. There is a network in between and you want to call him. So that is your need. You want to call him. Now let's suppose. Now can you see some failure cases here? When can you call and when can you not call? Just give me the list of failure cases here. Quickly. The question is very simple. Network is not available. Fine. Good. One is saying network is not available. Just I would like to write it. Network is not available. Fine. Next. Come on. Only one way. One problem. This is only one way problem. Phone is switched off. Fine. There is also a problem. Good. Switched off. Friend's phone is switched off. Not reachable. Okay, third. Okay, fine. Not reachable. Still, only these problems. Yeah, network is not reachable. Network problem. Only these three problems. Think some interesting problems will come. One or two interesting problems will also come out with. Okay. Now see this. I am going to write one or two. But what is the difference between these statements? Just me. Fine. These are also some problems, I think, in which you cannot make a call. Yes. Yes or no? Yes, right? No, that's fine. I'm not going to describe. Can you differentiate what is the difference between these these problems and these problems? Is there any difference or both are same? Different. What is the difference? So these are the different scenarios where you cannot make a call to your friend. But my question is, all these scenarios are same or they are different? If they are different, how they are different? Left side problems are with your mobile, fine. And right side problems are your mobile is right, everything is fine with from your side, but there is something is there which is outside of your mobile. Still, but who is getting affected here? See, somebody is saying what? These are all problem of my mobile and these are the problem of some network or something outside of my mobile. My mobile is fine. Still I may not able to connect to the network or to the other mobile. Or there may be a problem with my mobile itself. Right? Fine. So that is the difference. Is it? Come on guys. So that you can understand that problem very clearly. Yes or no? Yes, right? So this now, if these are the problems, what you do? If these are the problems, what you do? What is the solution for these problems? If these are the problems, what you do? Whose responsibility to rectify these problems? It's your responsibility to rectify these problems, right? Now, if you see these problems here, the problems is not with your mobile, right? The problems are with the network. So it is not problem with from your side. It is a problem with some other side. So can you say there are two things, right? Because this is the problem with not with you. This is a problem with the service provider who you are trying to use. That is the first thing, right? This is the problem with the service provider who is providing the service, right or not? And the second thing is what kind of solutions he is going to provide to you, right? What kind of solutions he is going to provide to you and who is getting affected here? In this scenario, problem is yours, so you will be suffering. That means you cannot make a call. But still your mobile is correct. Your mobile is functioning fine. This is not the problem with your mobile. The question is, it is the problem with this network service provider. What kind of solution he is going to give you and how we are going to solve this problem and who is going to affect it. Are you getting me what I am trying to ask you? Customer is going to affect it, that means you. But what kind of solution that network provider can provide you? Right? The internal point here is in this discussion is the problem may occur with the problem of your mobile piece or it may be the network problem. Ultimately, this is the one is going to affect, right? So this may be the internal problem of your piece or it may be the external problem of your network. Ultimately you are going to affect because you cannot make a call. That is the first point. If the problem is internal, then it is 100% you are responsible for solving it, right? 100% you are responsible for solving it. You know how to solve this. But if the problem is external problem, which you don't know what actually the problem, then how can you solve this? And at the same time, how this network provider is going to help you. to make a call to your friend. How he is going to solve this your problem? Right? So there is what here the difference. Up to now, whatever we discussed, 10 by 0 or null pointer or array index, all are the problems, such kind of problems, which are faced, which are the problems inside your program. Now, what does it mean? Let us understand whatever the example I have taken. So, what is the meaning of that? We try to understand the statements here, right? Just be careful to understand. Just focus here. What is the problem here? Why my compiler is stopping me to do this? The first thing is, so you are trying to use some kind of service provider, and service provider cannot provide the service. How can he help you? There is one way. He can simply help you saying what? There is no network available, or mobile is not reachable, or the other person's mobile is switched off. He can simply pass the message to you. Nothing more he can do about it, the network provider. And that is your headache to solve that problem. Yes or no? If the problem is there in your mobile, like no balance, you will be recharging and you will be calling. But if the problem is from the network provider, how he is going to help you? He cannot help you. He can only do what? He can simply pass a message to you. This is the problem bus. And that is also, in both cases, that is your responsibility. But the difference is, one is the internal problem with your and the other one is what? The external problem. Now the same thing is here with this program. So if you see my class here, this is my class. What is my class here? Throws demo. Now what is the meaning of that? This is my class, right? So what is my program name is? Throws demo is my program name, right? Throws demo is my class name. And my throws demo, through this throws demo class, I am trying to read some external file. What is the external file name here? What is the external file name? abc.txt. This is the external file I would like to read through my program. But actually, if you see the statement, I am not directly trying to read that file. There is some intermediate class I am using, which helps me to what? Read that file. Getting me? There is some intermediate file, a class I am using, Java class, which actually is going to help me to read that file. So what does this mean here? So in between my class and the actual physical file in the hard disk, there is I am taking the help of one more class. What is that class here? This class is what? File input stream. Getting me? File input stream. So my class is trying to use this class, and this class is trying to read this file. Right? So this is the actual thing. Now what is this problem here? What is the problem here? Now what is this class here is doing? What is this intermediate class which I am using here is doing here, this class? So it is here, this is a very interesting point to be noted here. What is this class is doing? This class tries to open this file. This class tries to open this file, and this class tries to read this file. But first thing is, this class, whatever the class which is trying to open the file, it is saying what? Boss, I am trying to open a file. If the file is there, I can open it. But if the file is not there, what should I do? Getting me? My class is not directly reading that file. My class is taking the help of some other file, some other class. And if the file is there, that's fine. If the file is not there, what this class will do for you? Because that is your need here, that is your program need to read the data from a text file. This is the actual file, this is the actual program you want to write, and which wants to read the content from that file, and which wants to do some kind of operations on that text after reading it, but it cannot directly read it. So this class is taking the help of this class, right? It's fine, no problem. Taking the help of some other class is not a problem here. But the problem here is, no, not required actually. The problem here is, if this file is unable to read it, try to understand this. If this file, let's suppose, this intermediate class, this file input stream class tries to open this file. If this file is there, that's fine. If this file is not there, abc.txt file is not there, then what this class is going to do for you. Are you getting what I'm trying to explain actually here? Right? So just take the example of our session itself, what is happening in this classroom. So I'm taking online class here, right? So myself, my system is ready, fine. It's switch on, everything is fine, and from your side also everything is fine. Now try to differentiate the problems here. Now as I want to take the class, online, so let's suppose my machine is not working fine. My machine is not working fine. So what should I do here? My machine is not working fine. It is having some software problem or a hardware problem. So what should I do in this case? I cannot communicate with you, right? Because of my machine problem. That's fine. There's a one problem. So in this case I need to rectify this problem. The second problem is, if the network is failed, you will be getting these problems sometimes. From my side my system is fine, from your side your system is also fine, but if the network is failed, how the network is going to help us? How those people are going to help us? Just think about it. You might face this situation. Yesterday somebody faced the same situation. Everything is fine but network is not there. So how that problem is solved? There guys? Getting me what I'm trying to explain here? Say at least yes or no. One says yes. Only one. Trying to catch. Actually I'm expecting Kiran you to actually give the answer for this. Yesterday you faced the same problem, right? In the last session. Your PC was fine, my PC was fine. But there is no network problem. That is not the problem from your side, there is not the problem from my side. There is a problem from the MIDI service provider. What you did there? How did you handle that situation? That is not there in your hand. And how that network is helped you? If there is a problem with your PC, then that's your problem. You can rectify it. But there is a network problem. How the network is helped you to solve this problem? It cannot help you, right? So the problem in the PC is, that is your problem. But the problem in the network is not your problem. It is external problem. Still you are getting affected. Yes or no? In both cases, you are only the what? You are only the loser, victim, right? Right, getting me? In both cases, what is that? If your PC is not correct, you are the victim, and if the network is not correct, you are the victim. Ultimately, you are the victim here, right? Now, that is the case. Now, if my program is wrong, that is fine. I am going to lose. My program is fine. My program is absolutely fine. But there is a problem from what? The service provider who is providing me the service. Again, I am going to, my program is not going to execute here. In both cases, my program is only not going to execute, right? So if my program itself, whatever the code I have written, if this code is wrong, then my program will not execute. But in this case, this is a different scenario. My program is taking the help of some other class. If this class fails to provide the service for me, if this class fails to open this file, then who is going to, let's suppose, that means what? Here I have some statements. After this, let's suppose this is the first statement, and I have some, like this, I have 10 statements in my program, like this, right? I have 10 statements in my program here like this, and that statement is having a problem. This is the first statement which is having the problem. right? So that means now let us assume this scenario. When I have written the file, when I have written the code, this abc.txt is there, but after some time this file is deleted. How this class is going to help you, right? So it cannot help you here. So that is a problem. Did you get what I'm trying to say here? My file is, there is no problem with my code. My code is absolutely fine. But the problem with the class which I'm taking the help here. And the question is how this class is going to help you. How this class is going to help you here. Right? So if the file is there, this works fine. This class can read this file. But if the file is not there, what this class is going to do for you? Right? So that is the meaning of this. That is the meaning of this. So this intermediate class, whatever the class you are using here, if the file is not there, this class cannot help you. Simply this class can pass you a message called as bus. What is the meaning of this statement here? This statement, if you see this. So the class which you are using, see here, it is clearly showing you. The class which you are using here to read that file, this class is saying, if the file is there, I will read it. If the file is not there, I cannot help you. Simply I am going to throw you some problem here. And that problem is what? File not found exception. That problem is what? File not found exception. Right? So this class is saying to whom it is reporting. It is simply reporting. What it is reporting? Boss, I don't know whether the file is there or not. Time being, if the file is there, I can provide the service. But if the file is not there, I cannot do anything. And it is reporting you. If the file is not there, just I cannot do anything. Just I can throw such kind of problem to you. Right? I can throw such kind of problem to you. Right? So that is the meaning here. You should, when such kind of problems are thrown here, when such kind of exception thrown by other classes, so as a programmer, because you are the user of this class, and you need to handle this. Right? So let me write my program here so that we'll try to understand here. So what is this here? This is the statement which is reporting your class. What is this class? This class which is using in actually not class, to the method. This is the method which is trying to use this method, use this statement, and this statement which is reporting to this method. But if the file is there, I am fine. But if the file is not there, I cannot help you. And your compiler is asking for smoother execution. You just, because this is the statement which is saying, this is the statement which is saying to your method, I cannot handle this situation. How it is going to handle this situation if the abc.txt is not there? What it is going to do for you? Is it going to create that abc.txt for you? No, right? It cannot do anything. If the file is not there, what this class is going to do for you? It cannot do anything. Right? Now it is asking, please, the compiler, that is the reason why compiler is asking you to handle this. Just be patient here. I will extend this program so that you will understand. File not found exception. It is not file not exception, it is file not found exception. Right? Now let's see here what it is going to do for me. This compiler compiles my program now. Fine. What is this? I need to write this class also. Compiler is happy. Why compiler is compiling this program? I will explain this now. Right? Now I am going to add one method to my program. See this. I am going to write some method to this program. Now with this method, just you try to understand this. Public void. I am writing my own method. What is the method name? Don't get confused here with the method names. Let's suppose I am writing a method. In this method I am trying to, right? Now see this. Now try to understand. This is where, now how to call this? Now it's a very simple program I have. I'm removing everything, right? So how to call this method? How to call this method? Come on, how to call this method? Read file method. It's my own method, return method. By creating object for throws demo, right? Very simple. Control C. Now try to understand this. Focus here. Whatever I'm trying to explain, now I think you can understand with this. New throws demo is absolutely correct. td dot read file, right? Now try to understand the problem statement here. Right, it's fine. Now see this, I'm compiling. Same thing happened. Same thing it is saying me. Right, what your compiler is not compiling your program. If the compiler does not compile your program, what does it mean? You cannot execute it, right? Now see this, what I'm doing here. What is the error message it is saying here? Now try to understand this. File not found, okay? Exception. Fine. Yes, I did not do anything. Now let me compile my program. Right, so let me clear the screen here. Still your program is not compiled. Why? Still the program is not compiled. Why? Right? Now see the error message here clearly. What is the error message? It is showing, pointing to where? Read file. Who has written this method? Who is written this method? It's my own method, right? This is the method which I have written, my own method. Okay? Yes? Yes or no? This is my own method, right? Now see this. What is the problem in this? Now it is showing you this is the problem. But this statement is problematic statement. Why this statement is problematic statement? Right? So observe this code. Why this statement is problematic statement? This is the d.read file I am calling. Now what read file method is doing here? What is the read file method is doing? It is saying to its callers. What it is the meaning here? Whoever calls this method to its caller, it is indicating, it is forwarding. What it is forwarding? Boss, if you want to use me, if you want to call me while I am under execution, while when I try to execute, I may cause you this problem. This is the meaning. Throws means. What is the meaning of here? What is the meaning of this writing this method, read file method? This read file method is trying to say, right, trying to forward this problem to its callers. What is the problem? Whenever whoever calls me, for those I may raise this kind of problem. I don't know whether I may come across this problem or I may not come across this problem. But it is possible that, right, this read file method, it is possible that I may cause this problem to my callers. It is simply forwarding this message to what? Its caller. Who is the caller of this method? Who is the caller of this method? So this is the statement which is calling this method, and this statement is called from what? Main. Right? So what does it mean here? Now concentrate here. When somebody calls this read method, this read file method is saying to its caller, I may raise this kind of problem, that is the first point, to you, and I am not interested to handle this. Whatever the code I am having inside me, this code may raise this kind of problem, and I am not responsible for handling this. This is the headache of the caller who is calling. This is up to you whether you want to interested to handle this or not. This is simply forwarding this problem. Instead of handling this problem, this read file method is doing what? Simply forwarding this problem to its callers. Who is calling this read file method? The main method is calling this read file method. Getting me? What I'm trying to explain here. Yes or no? Everybody got it? Right? So what does it mean here? So whoever calls me, that means method call is nothing but what? I want to execute this method. I want to execute this method. Right? Some code is there inside this method. Don't see this statement. Don't see this statement. I am trying to call a method, and this method is simply saying, boss, when I am trying to execute my body, when I am trying to execute my body of method body, when this method body is executed, there is a possibility of getting such kind of problem, and I am not interested to handle it. I am just forwarding it to you. That is your headache, whether you want to handle it or not. So in such cases, what is your compiler is doing? It is strictly checking. What is your compiler is doing here? It is strictly checking whether the caller, that means this is the method, this is the caller here, whether the caller is handling this method or not handling. Your compiler will not leave you until you do one thing here. Any one you should do here. Either you should handle it. Cart means what? You should handle it, or you should also say, but I am not interested. So whoever calling this method, read file method, that method is also should indicate what? Whether it is interested to handle it or not interested to handle it. Then only your compiler allows you. That is meaning here, compiler strictly checking. Compiler is strictly checking here. What is it is checking? Whether this method who is calling the read file method is handling this or not. If this method will not handle it, or if this method is not doing anything out of these two, what are the two things? It should handle compulsory or it may not handle. It should handle this compulsory or it may not handle it. Right? Not handling means what? Writing throws again. What is the meaning of this? Throws file not found exception. So what is the meaning of writing here? Again, what is the meaning of writing here? Whoever, the one which calls this main method, to that method, the main method is passing what? So I have some part of code. This may cause me this problem, but I am not interested to handle it. That is the responsibility, that is the headache of the one who is calling this main method. Getting me? So main method is simply forwarding this message to its caller. Now let me run this program now. Compile this program. Now your compiler is showing the error because it is not D, it is TD. This is not error here. This is a different error. This is TD. Right? Now see this. Why this? No, it's fine. Your compiler is happy. Why compiler is compiled your program now? Why compiler is compiled your program now? Because this method is saying I am not interested to handle this. At the same time, this method is also saying what? I am not interested to handle this. That is the reason why your compiler is compiled it. Yes. It's not always throws. There are two mechanisms. There are two things you need to do here. Either write these throws or say that I am interested to handle it. If you want to handle it, what do you need to do here? If you want to handle it, just put it in try and block. This is the meaning of what? Try and catch. This is the meaning of handling it. Not handling means what? Write the throws. Getting me? Now let me write this. I will show you what is the problem inside this. We'll still more. Did you understand actually what is I am trying to explain here? So this read file method is saying to its callers. Who is the caller here? main method is the caller, but because you are calling me, and in the I cannot say whether my this method body can complete successfully or not. If I am unable to complete successfully, I am going to throw this message to you, and that is your headache to handle it or not. The main is also doing the same here. To its caller, main is indicating. So something the main method should do. Now it is fine. Now let me run this program. Java, right? What is it? Throws example. Oh. Throws demo. No output is C. Why no output? Because no statements have printed. Nothing output here. No output. Okay. But see the problem here. Now focus here. I am removing this abc.txt. I deleted it. See, I deleted the abc.txt. Okay. Now let me compile. Your compiler is happy, compiled, but it is throwing exception. Why it is now throwing the exception? Exception, when the exception is thrown, exception is always thrown at a runtime. See what is the problem here? It is saying what clearly? Boss, I don't find abc.txt. Who is saying this? Who is saying this problem? You know the stack, right? Main method of your class trying to call read file method. Read file method is trying to call file input stream class. And when file input stream class is trying to open this file, it is not found this file. See here, file input stream dot open, and it is trying to open this file. It is not found in the hard disk. And this class is saying what? I don't find this file. I did not find this file, so that I cannot open it. Now what is this? If you try to see your program, this is the statement which is trying to open this abc.txt. This is which is trying to say to whom it is passing this error message. To this read file it is passing, and read file is also not interested to handle, and read file is passing this message to what? Main method, and main method is also not interested to handle. So nobody in the hierarchy, nobody is interested to handle this problem. Okay, trying to understand what happened here. There are two things you need to focus here. Two things you need to focus here, right? So first come to this file input stream constructor. First come to this file input stream constructor. I am opening this. See what is this file input stream constructor is saying? Getting me? What is this file input stream constructor, right? What this file input stream constructor is saying? Read this. This is a constructor. Public, no return type, same as class name, takes a string, and it is throwing you what exception? File not found exception, right? Getting me? Is it okay, that statement? What happened, guys? Don't read this. I am not asking you to read this. It's not required. It is not our concentration. My concentration on only this. Just read it. What is the method syntax you have? Constructor throws an exception. What is the meaning of this? Whoever calls this constructor to that method, it is throwing you an exception. Called as what? Throwing an exception called as file not found exception. So the problem starts from where? The problem in your program starts from here. This is the constructor which is trying to open that file. It is saying to its caller. Who is its caller? Read file. Saying what here? Boss, if the file is there, I am okay to open it. But if the file is not there, what I should do for you? I cannot provide any alternate for you. So I am simply forwarding this problem to you. What is the problem it is forwarding? File not found exception. Right? Getting me? So problem starts from where? Problem starts from this method actually, which I am trying to use as an intermediate. And this is saying to the methods who tries to use this constructor, the methods who tries to use this constructor saying to that methods, boss, if the file is not there, I cannot help you. How it is indicating to this read file method? How it is indicating to this read file method? By using a simple keyword called as what? Throws. This is how it is indicating to that file, that read file method. Okay? Are you able to understand now? Everybody? Don't think much here. Just statement by statement I am explaining now. Everybody are able to understand now? Only two. What happened, guys? Only two? I'm expecting still more replies. Oh. Yes or no? All understood. Only two replies I got. Still thinking. Right? Nothing is there. I am trying to call this constructor from my code. What is that code? This is the code from which I am trying to call this constructor, and this constructor tries to open that file, and it is saying if I don't find that file, find that file, I cannot help you. And it is passing that message in the form of what? File not found exception. To whom it is passing? To this method it is passing. Right? So because it is passing this message, because this constructor is passing this message to this method, your compiler strictly checks. What it is strictly checking here? Whether the method which is calling that constructor is handling that or not handling. See here, what is this? New file input stream method. Whatever the constructor you are using in the read file method, it is passing a message, it is forwarding a message, and that message is what? File not found exception. And your compiler is asking you the method which is calling that, please handle it or don't handle it. You must specify it, because it is ultimately reporting you. It is ultimately reporting you that this may cause you the problem. And your compiler is forcing you to handle it or not handle it. So either you need to do one thing here. Either you need to handle it by using try and catch, and this is the correct one to do. What is that? Writing a try and catch is the correct one. Why? Because if you don't know, the file abc.txt is not there. If you don't know what to do, there is no meaning. As a user, you should know. Right? If the network connection is not there, you should know what should be done. You should have a option. File not found, exception. Right? So now here. So what I am trying to do here, what I am trying to do in my program, this method which I am trying to use, it is reporting me. So what it is reporting me? If there is no file, I cannot open it. I cannot open it. Then in that case it is reporting me by saying what? File not found exception. Right? Now I am handling it. Because this is my problem, I am handling it. Never use throws. You should not use throws. It is absolutely possible to use throws, but it is not correct coding. Now I am writing something called as oops, file not found, something. Right? And this method is called by whom? This method, read file method, is called by main. And main need to write this in this case? Do I need to write this in this case? It is not required. Why it is not required? Because this read file method is calling from main, and this read file method is not forwarding any exception to this. It is not forwarding any exception to this. Now it is absolutely free. Right? So where it is absolutely free. Right? So it cannot it cannot write throw, and it cannot write try and catches also. No need to write actually. It is absolutely free of handling this problem now, because the problem itself is handled in the here in the read file, and is absolutely free. It is not that this main method also now. It's fine, right? The program is compiled fine. Why the program is compiled fine? Right? Because this read file method is doing what? It is not forwarding any exceptions to its callers. Now the callers, whoever are calling this method, are absolutely free, right? So without doing anything, without writing try and catch, without writing throws, they cannot call that. They can call that method now. They can call that method now, right? Are you understanding me? So what is the problem here? This is not the problem with your code. This is not the problem with your code. This is the problem with this code, right? And it is indicating, because you are using this code, it is indicating to your program saying that, boss, if I don't find this file, I cannot help you. I may raise you this problem. So it is your headache whether you want to handle it or not. It is just simply reporting it, and your compiler is strictly checking whether the person who is calling this, whether he is handling or not. Your compiler is strictly checking. Some situations your compiler is not checking. What is that? Is your compiler is checking this one, int I is equal to 10 by 0. Now try to understand the difference between these two. Your compiler is checking this, not checking. Why it is not checking? This is the problem of your internal code. This is not the problem of some external files. You don't create the object, you call the method. That is the problem of your internal code. So compiler is not checking these kind of things. So these kind of things are called as unchecked, compiler unchecked exceptions. See, try to understand the difference. Both are exceptions only, but this is compiler is not checking, this is compiler is checking. Because this is the problem internally of your code, like mobile no charging kind of thing, whatever the example we have taken, right? And this is the problem of the service provider kind of thing. And compiler is strictly checking whether you are interested to handle this or not. And compiler is just bothered about the exceptions inside your code. So those are called as unchecked exceptions, and these kind of things are called as what? Checked exceptions. So compiler is going to strictly check some kind of exceptions. Compiler is going to strictly check some kind of exceptions. They are called as checked exceptions. Very important point, guys. Compiler is going to check some kind of exceptions. They are called as checked exceptions. Compiler is not going to check some kind of exceptions. They are called as unchecked exceptions. But the point here is, if the exception is checked or if the exception is unchecked, it can be anything. If the exception is checked or it is unchecked, it raises at runtime only. What does it mean? Right? If the exception is checked or it is unchecked, it will be raised at runtime only. Now see this. Right? What is the meaning of this? Whether this file is there, abc.txt, it is not there, right? Now Java space throws demo. See, oops, file not found. Why? What is the meaning of oops, file not found? The exception is raised, object is created for this, and it is handled. That is the reason why you see this statement. Okay, exception is raised at runtime only. Now if I create the file there, abc.txt, abc.txt, okay, it is anyway text file. File is there right now. There is a file now. No need to write any content anyway. There is a file now. Now just run me this. No error, no exception, because there is a file. There is a file, no exception. There is no file, exception is raised. But the difference is compiler is strictly checking. So compiler is not checking. The point here is, while you compile your program, the compiler is not seeing whether this abc.txt is there or not. Compiler is not seeing that. The file will be opened at runtime only. abc.txt will be opened at runtime only. Compiler is not going to check whether the abc.txt is there or not. Getting me? Compiler is not checking whether the abc.txt is not there. Right? So while your program is under execution, your runtime is trying to open this file. If it is found that file, it opens it. This is the second scenario, because the file is there, it is opened. If the file is not there, it is throwing the exception. The exception always will be thrown at runtime. compiler did not check here. Compiler is not going to check whether the abc.txt is there or not. But compiler is making sure that right, to run your program at runtime smoothly, whether you are interested to handle this or not. Getting me? Right? Okay. Let me comment these statements. Everybody says okay. I am trying to comment this try and catches. Everything. Try and catches I am trying to comment this. Or let me remove this so that you can easily understand. I am removing this try and catches. Right? So what is compiler is doing here? Compiler is not checking whether this file is there or not. Is it checking? No, compiler is not checking. But what compiler is checking here? What compiler is checking? Compiler is checking the statement is saying to its caller, boss, I am going to throw some exception. Whether that method which is calling this is handling that or not. That is only the compiler is checking. Right? What is compiler is checking? Because the statement is indicating to its callers, if there is no file, I am going to throw you this problem. Compiler is simply checking whether the programmer is handling or not handling. Writing this is means what? Not handling. See this. Now you can understand this now. Is there any file? Yes, absolutely there is a file. Now I am going to write system dot out dot println, yeah, main start just give me 5 seconds, we complete it. Main end, right? See here, this is what method? Read file start, read file end. Okay. Right? Now the first thing is what? First, this is the method which is indicating to its caller what it is indicating. If this file is not there in the hard disk, I am going to throw you some problem. And the because this is saying that who is calling this method should handle it or throw it. Now I am throwing it. That means what? I am not handling. But what is the meaning of this? Read file method is not handling this. Simply it is forwarding this problem to what? Its caller. Who is its caller? Main. And main is also doing the same here. Right? Main is also doing the same. Now see here. Just I have put some kind of order println. You can see all are executed. No exception. Right? If there is exception, your program will be stopped. Main start, read file end, main end. Why? Because why you have seen why these messages are got here? Main start, main end. First it starts from here. It is going to this. This is because there is a text file in the hard disk. It is opened it actually. So this is successful to in opening. No problem is raised with this statement. And that is here end and then. Right? Okay. Now let me remove that file from the hard disk. Online classes. ABC, it is there, right? Now see this. I removed it. Now let me compile it. Compiler is fine, but see the error is raised at what? Runtime. Why the error is raised at runtime? Main start, read start. Main start, read start, but you don't see anything after this. Why? Now this statement is trying to open a file because that file is not there. It is throwing the exception. This statement is throwing the exception to its caller, and this method is also not handling it. It is simply forwarding this to main, and main is also simply forwarding to its caller. That means what? In the hierarchy nobody is handled this. The program is terminated abnormally. Okay. Are you understanding now? Nobody are handled here. Actually, this is the one which is trying to open the file. No file is there. It is forwarded that message to this one. This is also not interested to handle that problem. It is forwarded that message to main, and it is also saying what? It is also saying what? I am not interested. It is forwarding to its caller. So in the hierarchy, no method is handled here. Still this method is exception is what remains unhandled. But if I don't write these throws, what happens here? If I don't write these throws, now there is a problem here. That doesn't mean that exception is there. Your compiler is not allowing. Why? Why your compiler is not allowing? But read file method is saying something to you. You should do only one thing here. What you should do? Either you specify whether you are interested to handle it or whether you are not interested. If you are interested to handle it, write try and catch. Now this is the statement which is causing the problem. Right? And read file is passing this message. Compiler, this is a compile time problem. Catch. Right? What is it? Problem? File not found exception. FE. System.out.println. So your compiler will compile this time. Why? Because you are handling it. Technically there is no file exist yet. Compiler is not checking whether the file is there or not. No, compiler is not checks that. System.out.println read file method cannot find the file. Read file method cannot find the file. See? Main start, read file start. In the read file method, you can see what? There is no read file end. Why read file end is not there? Why there is no read file end? Only read file start is there. Because this is the statement which is caused the problem here. So abc.txt is missing there. So this statement will not be executed. Because exception is raised, and we know that after the exception statements, no other statements will be executed. And this problem is simply pass it to the main method, and main method is handled it. And main methods, because it is handled, you can see this method, and after this you can see. So it is only compiler is checking for some exceptions. Such kind of exceptions are called as compile time checked exceptions. And the exceptions which are simply ignored by the compiler, they are called as compile time unchecked exceptions. See, try to understand the problem here. As I given the example, the problem with this file, the intermediate service provider, right? And this is indicating to your program, but because you are using my service, I may raise you this problem. You should do one thing here. It is your headache to handle it or not. Where it is saying to this class, compiler is strictly checking whether this program is handling or not. Compiler is not forcing you to compulsory handle it, but it is making sure that whether this program is handling or not. So if you want to handle it, put try and catches. If you don't want to handle it, what do you need to do? Right? Throws. If you want to handle, put try and catches. If you don't want to handle, write throws. So throws is a special keyword. What it is doing here? It is always used with the method syntax. It is always used with the method syntax to forward the message exceptions to what? To forward the exceptions to its callers. Like this, it can forward comma separated big list of exceptions. It can forward the comma separated big list of exceptions to its callers. And the caller should do what? Either caller must handle them, and caller is free to not handling means what? Caller should handle them by using try and catches, or the caller cannot handle by using throws. And these are checked. This is only for checked exceptions, not for unchecked exceptions. If I write throws arithmetic exception, no problem. Here writing the try catch or not writing the try catch is fine. If I write throws arithmetic exceptions, right? So this is where you have here. Now how to differentiate which are throws exceptions, which are unchecked exceptions, which are checked exceptions. Again the same hierarchy, use it for you, right? So in the hierarchy of classes I have given, I think, right? So in the hierarchy of classes I have given the super class, I have taken like What is the superclass I have taken? Exceptions. Exception superclass. Exception is a superclass and runtime exception is the subclass. So all runtime exception and all its child classes are called as unchecked exceptions. All its child classes will be simply ignored by the compiler. All its child classes. But the direct subclasses of exception are what? Like file not found comes here. File not found is a direct subclass for what? File not found is a direct subclass for exception. Actually not direct, it is. So it is where it is. So how to differentiate them? How to differentiate them? The classes which are direct subclasses for exception, the classes which are child classes for what? Runtime exception, they are unchecked. I have given this. And they are, if the classes are direct child classes for exception, they are checked exceptions. So these things compiler will strictly check these things, and compiler will simply ignore these things. These are called as compile time checked exceptions. These are called as compile time unchecked exceptions. Whatever it might be, whether it is a compiler checked or compiler unchecked, all exceptions are raised at runtime. All exceptions are raised at runtime. Right? So there is a very important question. If you don't understand, no problem, just go through the video one more time so that you can understand. Now how can we write our own user defined exceptions then? Right? How can you write your own user defined exceptions? Very simple here. So as we have discussed, if you want to write a class, if you want to say a class as exception class, it should be a child class of that hierarchy. Now I am going to create my own class, public class, user defined exception extends simple inheritance. Your class should be in that hierarchy. User defined exceptions extends any class you can take, any class you can make. I am taking the class called as runtime exception, or you can take what? Exception. That's your choice. If you directly extend your class from exception, then this class becomes a checked exceptions. This class becomes a checked exceptions, right? So same thing, I'm going to create two constructors in the same way how the classes API classes are there. In the same way, I'm going to write two constructors. This is no argument constructor, public no argument constructor, and one more with argument constructor. Constructor overloading with string argument, message something. Right? So that's it. Nothing more. This is how I have created. This is what? A user defined constructor. Still you can write is a normal Java class. Whatever you want to write, you can write all the things. Now this class becomes a exception class. Now you need to create your exception classes according to the situation. If somebody is withdrawing the money from the bank, if there is no money, if you want to throw such kind of exceptions, right? No sufficient money exception to withdraw, such kind of things you can do. This is an example where you can create your exceptions. Oh, this is not the case. That's it. Simple class with two constructors. That's it. This is a class, exception class. Right? Now whenever you require, because this is a class created by you, your runtime cannot create the object for this class. Whenever you require, just you need to create the object for that class and throw it. Now how to create the object for this class? Because this is, we know that how to create the object for something exception main, a normal class here. Now whenever you require that situation to create that object, that is compulsory, that depends on your logic, when to create and when not to create. Public static void main string args. How many dots I put? Only 3. Right, let's see what choice. Throw. You need to have some condition to throw it, just I am showing it. Now what I want to throw? Exception. That exception created by me, remember that. And you need to have a logic to throw it. It's not meaningful writing like this, just I am showing the code. Exception. Right, so what type of exception it is? It is checked exception. Because it is directly extending from exception superclass. And it will not compile anyway, because it will not compile because of what is that? Exception main is the class. Because you are throwing because you are throwing exception, it is checked exception. Checked exception, when the checked exception is thrown, it should be handled or it should be throws. You should use throws keyword. Or if you don't want to make it as a checked exception, generally people don't make this kind of things here. Generally they make exceptions as what? Unchecked. That depends on the class, how you design the class. Now it is unchecked exception, your compiler will not say anything here. Spelling mistake, T might be small. And see here, see the difference. Your compiler simply is not checking the things, checking the exception. They are called as unchecked exceptions. When your class is child class of runtime exception, that becomes a unchecked exception. When a class is unchecked exception, your compiler is not checking. Here I am throwing it manually, and compiler is least bothered about what? Unchecked exception. See, your compiler is not stopping it. But if it is the case of checked exceptions, your compiler is going to stop you to do that. Directly making a child class of exception, it becomes a checked exception, right? And it is thrown in the main method. Because it is thrown in the main method, it is asking to main method whether you are interested to handle it or not handle it. There are two ways. Either write throws, no meaning actually. What is that? You can write exception itself. Superclass, you can write superclass. When you write it, you can write superclass. It's fine. See, compiler is happy. Or you need to put what? Try and catch. Just remember that only one point in this discussion. What is that? When a checked exceptions are thrown, as a programmer, you should handle them or you should write throws. When a checked exception is thrown, as a programmer, you should handle it or you should throw it. Then only your compiler compiles it. Otherwise, your compiler will not compile the program. Only keep in that mind. With the practice, you will understand that things. It's fine because I am handling it. Oh, it's not throws. It is what? Exception main. It's fine. No output anyway. Right? This is how you create your own user-defined exceptions. Right? Did you understand, guys?